Hi, this is Derek Feldman, and I'm the CEO of Achieve, and I'm here today with Sarah Harris with MS Communications. Thanks so much, Sarah, for being here with us. Sarah is going to be talking today about cause and public awareness campaigns, which is really exciting because Sarah's been doing a lot of work around the country with a lot of different organizations, teaming them up with corporations, and really using all of the outlets of MS to really push out a message, bringing both awareness, sometimes donors, supporters, volunteers, all different kinds of individuals to the organization. It's really exciting, and why we wanted to hold this interview, is because, like a lot of you, we're all trying to figure out the best ways to get more awareness for our organizations. And secondly, as it's the beginning of the year, we can design and sort of enhance what we do have for the remainder of the year to bring in more people to support us. So, Sarah, thanks so much for being with us.
Thank you, Derek.
So, Sarah, give us the sort of I guess, the nickel tour or the elevator pitch on what MS Communications is and what you primarily do there.
Sure. MS Communications primarily is a radio communications company. We own radio stations across the country. We also own 7 regional magazines all across the country. And what community outreach is, the division that I lead up, is harnessing what we know from media and advertising and marketing and deploying that to do behavior change marketing campaigns or cause marketing campaigns, things that help connect communities, nonprofit organizations together to do good in our communities.
Great. Wonderful. So give me a sense of some of the places where you're at in the country.
Sure. We operate coast to coast, New York and LA, Chicago.
Traveling a lot, right?
Traveling a lot, many nights in hotels and airports. We're also down south in Austin, Texas. We've got an office in St. Louis and also in Indianapolis, where MS is headquartered.
Great. Wonderful. So obviously, I'm sure you can hang your hat on a good project. Why don't you just give us a sense of how this all comes together? Let's just imagine we're an organization. We come to you and we say, we want more awareness for something. How do you go about taking it from initial introduction to completion?
Sure. Well, it varies on who we're working with. Let me use an example to walk you through the process.
Sure.
One organization that we've worked with recently in New York is the Centers for NYC Neighborhoods.
Okay.
They are a nonprofit organization that emerged the last couple of years as the foreclosure crisis has become such a big issue. So many of our projects are topical or issue-based in nature. Something will arise in a community. Somebody will come to us and say, hey, we really need your help. We need to generate some awareness or connect people to the services that we're offering. Can you please help? At that point, we articulate what we're trying to accomplish, what the goal is of that particular campaign, and then go to work designing, much as you would a traditional marketing program, what are the messages, who are the audiences, what are the platforms that we need to be on. And what we do within community outreach is design that entire campaign top to bottom, make it really turnkey for our partners, particularly nonprofit organizations that are not maybe as savvy in this space. We can bring all that in-house. We can use our production facilities, our creative capabilities, and then run a really effective public education campaign.
Excellent.
So in this example, with the Center for NYC Neighborhoods, they are trying to connect individuals who are in mortgage trouble with banks and lenders who can help them sort of revise the terms of that mortgage. They're really good at that. We're really good at connecting audiences who might be in need of those services. So in New York, we ran a big radio campaign. We did a bunch of grassroots outreach and targeted zips and helped them put on a couple of community-based events. In the end, about 1,500 people came out to these events where they met with, I think it was 9 different lenders from the New York area who were there because of the nonprofit, bringing everyone together. And I think about 1,100 or 1,200 people were able to reservice their mortgage as a result of this campaign.
That's wonderful. Well, good. And so in the sense of this, because I also know that you work directly with nonprofits, and then you also bring other companies to the table to help promote some of these public awareness campaigns. Talk about how you do that, and then I want to ask you a follow-up question about what's a win-win partnership. So Go ahead.
Sure. Well, many times companies are interested in branding themselves alongside community initiatives. We worked with National City Bank, now becoming PNC Bank, in St. Louis over the last couple of years, helping really brand their philanthropy as part of their marketing. So they were very interested in not only giving direct donations to the community, but positioning some of their bank leaders as really helping drive community impact within St. Louis. So we built them a campaign called Dollars Making a Difference, and it was all about branding the nonprofits in association with National City Bank and the good work that they were doing together in St. Louis. So that campaign was part about marketing the nonprofits, the work they were doing, but a lot of it was co-branding the bank alongside.
Excellent, excellent. And so what is, so follow-up question, what is a win-win for both a company and also for a nonprofit in a relationship like that?
The win-win happens when both organizations are meeting their objectives simultaneously, of course. So in the National City example, their win was being able to position themselves, market and brand themselves as a community leader, really affecting change within St. Louis. The win for the nonprofit was they were getting not only the philanthropic support from the bank, but they were also getting mentioned in the advertising messages that we put together for National City. So the win-win, both organizations were getting what they needed in the public's eye with this added exposure, but then we were deploying financial resources, volunteer resources directly into those nonprofits. What happens in most of our partnerships is we're looking for that intersection. Where is a company interested in making an investment? Where does a nonprofit have a need? And then how can our marketing and media tools come alongside and meet both of those needs simultaneously?
Is it, now I have to ask a question, do a lot of nonprofits know what they want when they come to you? I mean, I take it you probably have to work with some of them.
We do. They all want awareness and they all want money.
Right. So they know those two
Right.
things.
They know those things are big and broad, right? It's like saying I need to get a new car. Well, let's talk about what you want out of that car so that we can define your purchase. The same goes with marketing campaigns. So they'll come to us and say we need awareness. Well, what do you really need from that? Who are you talking to? What do you want to happen? If you're able to engage these target audiences, as we would call them, what do you want to tell them? And then what do you want to have happen as a result of that? A lot of what we try to do is design campaigns with impact. So in order to have impact, we need to be sure that the organization defines up front what their goal is, and then our campaign will ultimately deliver that in the end.
So now, how much do you have to work with nonprofit messaging? Because I would guess that some of these nonprofits are fairly savvy with marketing already, and some of them are really needing help. So what's it like, and how do you sort of help craft that?
An example, we worked with the Mental Health Association of Illinois in the last year launching a statewide mental health awareness campaign. So this is a great example of an organization that really knows their stuff. They're very savvy on mental health issues, how to bring awareness of that. They've got tools and resources available, but they don't know how to put that message into sort of a soundbite or something that would resonate with their audience. So the best thing we can help nonprofits with is help them be great at what they are great at, and let us to be really great at what we know how to do best, which is sort of take and package those messages and send them out in an effective way. So in that instance, we were able to produce for them radio messages. We produced events. We deployed some of our jocks to do liners on air, and we're able to make it hip and fun, what otherwise would probably read like a brochure, which is not necessarily bad, but we're looking for effective, and we're looking for ways to really resonate with the audience.
Sure. Let's talk about media right now. So what would you say is most useful for nonprofits right now, and the media outlets, whether you have them at EMIS or not, and where should marketers and nonprofits be thinking about, especially when it comes to media going forward?
Impact, efficiency, and effectiveness are the things that you're looking for in media. So a lot of nonprofits are coming to us asking for social media guidance or strategy because it has the perception of being free. Right. The perception of being free, it's not at all the case. So anything, social media in particular, takes a lot of man hours. Radio is a more cost-effective media because you can buy a lot of it much cheaper than you could, for instance, television, particularly with some of the fragmentation going on in TV. That's becoming a more difficult medium to control. So what we advise are integrated campaigns and try to be as effective and cost-efficient as you can. Integrated, you need a couple of platforms working together. So if you want an effective social media strategy, you need something outside of the online space to drive traffic to your online platforms. And then when you're there, you need really sticky content. You need to be engaging. You need to connect with people where they are, have live and active conversations. Your content has to be up to date. All that takes manpower. Therefore, social media is not free. You've got to have smart people working behind the scenes to pull all of that off. But then you just have to have megaphones out in the community, whether that's grassroots outreach, radio, billboard. You need other platforms that are driving people to that online communication.
Good. And I really like that social media isn't free, because I think that's very, very true when it comes to both the human capacity side and everything else. When it comes to media, obviously we have mobile now. Is EMIS doing anything with mobile? Have you done any campaigns around that?
Mobile we interpret to mean a lot of different things.
Okay,
so
good. Give us your interpretation.
We interpret mobile primarily communications that happen on a mobile handheld device,
okay,
which could be anything from a game or an app all the way to a text messaging campaign, kind of runs the gamut. Text to donate, we've done several campaigns in the last year that have been bounce back messages where people have raised significant amount of money for nonprofits through text to donate initiatives. So mobile, going where the consumer is, being sort of in that one-to-one communication pattern via that handheld device, which is more and more where people are accessing the internet, will give you the tools to do donating, text to donate, texting bounce back, just general awareness messages, as well as sort of going online and digging deeper and learning more about whatever the campaign is about.
Yeah. Is there anything that you're seeing that you've seen some success from some of the stuff that you've designed at all that you could give us a little hint as to?
Mm-hmm. Best, again, is connectivity with your audience. So if you've got a built-in database of people that you're already communicating with, then you can more easily engage in sort of that ongoing dialogue. And many times in our campaigns, they're more complex issues. We're trying to educate people over a long period of time, so you want that ongoing dialogue. And if you have that, then you can reach and connect people through games, through texting, through a variety of different mobile platforms. The text to donate is something that we've had some great successes with and something that we've also struggled with. I think one of the big factors is, does your appeal resonate widely, and do people widely hear the message and make it easy for them to respond? So the easier you can make it, the more general the appeal can be. We saw a year ago with the Haiti response, text to donate really took off because it appealed to so many people and it was very easy to do. We've been able to replicate that in small pockets based, again, on sort of resonating with that audience. It has the right appeal and it's very easy for people to respond.
Good. I want to talk about some best practices before we finish here. Obviously, if somebody's going to start into a public awareness campaign, whether it be with a cause partner or not, like a company or others, or whether they engage with EMIS, and hopefully they will, but what would you recommend are some best practices for a public awareness campaign in general?
Keep your message simple. Make it easy to connect with people. Be really committed to designing a campaign that will deliver results and then allow the execution to take place to drive those results.
Good.
Those are pretty high level, simple individually, much more complex when you get into the trenches of putting together a campaign. But the simpler and more clear, salient you can make your message, the better it's going to resonate with the audience. And if you really define up front what you're trying to accomplish, the more you will know when to celebrate and how to tweak and optimize that campaign to reach those end results.
Good. Is there anything when it comes to measurement? What are some tools or some things that you use when it comes to measuring a public awareness campaign?
It varies by client and what they're trying to accomplish, but we work really hard to measure what we're putting into the campaign, what comes out of the campaign, really in like actions and activities, what messages went into the marketplace, and then what happened. So did people go to a website? Did they call? Did they donate? Those would be the sort of outcomes that we're measuring. Ultimately, that's the easiest thing to measure is what activity happened. And then what we try to do is sort of accumulate those results over time to really derive to impact in the community, whether that's impact toward an issue, impact toward reducing water consumption or improving energy efficiency, whatever that campaign might be. We try to make as documentable action outcomes as we can, and then accumulate those over time toward impact.
Good, good. Well, Sarah, thanks so much for being here. We really appreciate it.
Thank you. I appreciate it, Derek.
Yeah. So if you want to hear more about EMIS Community Outreach, go to emis.com, and also you can communicate with Sarah Harris. We'll put her email on the interview page later on. Well, thanks again.
Thank you.
Stay tuned for our next interview next month when we're going to be interviewing Carrie Dunn with the Case Foundation. Thanks so much, and we'll hopefully hear from you soon. Bye-bye.